So here we are on day one of England's national lockdown number 2. Where to start really? I struggle to express how angry I am, to be perfectly honest, that we as a business are being asked to shut down again. And that's not because I don't understand that there is a need for a national lockdown. There's very clearly there is a need. Cases are rising, hospital beds are filling up. There is clearly a need for it. But the issue that we have really is it's not a national lockdown. It just simply is not a national lockdown. There are so many exemptions. There are so much still going on out there in the community, except it would appear amateur sport and hospitality. And I'm not entirely sure how amateur sport has ended up lumped in with the hospitality sector and being responsible for the major spread of the virus. I fail to understand how riding a horse in 8 acres of East Yorkshire countryside helps raise the R. I fail to understand how walking around a golf course with one other person helps to raise the R. I do understand how getting kicked out of a pub and filling the streets with people dancing and cheering and nothing happening about that. I understand how that raises the R. I understand how protests across the country that weren't stopped early enough, I understand how that raises the R, but I fail to understand how what we do at Port Royal needs to be shut down. And again, there's the inconsistencies. National trusts, God love them, and this isn't a moan about other people staying open and I think that they should shut down. It's a moan because it's unfair. It's unfair and it's unjustified. I fail to see the rationale and the data to shut individual sport down. Team sport, again, there's an argument that team sport can spread it, but golf, tennis, equestrian, where's the rationale in shutting down Escrick Park? So Escrick Park Rideways has been shut. They've been told by Selby District Council that they're classed as leisure and they need to shut. What? It makes no sense. So to appease myself, I'm about to go out and I'm going to pop around the village just to see what's actually shut, because I am getting rather frustrated with the exemptions that are going on, what can stay open and what has to shut. So I'm going now into the village for a little pop round to see what's shut and what's not shut. Okay. So straight away, the first thing you notice, I get to the junction at the end of Port Royal onto the main 614, and in the last national lockdown this road was dead. I mean, quite genuinely, there was nothing on it. And today, day one of national lockdown 2, the road's as busy as it normally is. Absolutely no difference. Okay, so I've just had a drive through the village, and to be honest with you, I'm laughing because it's just, it's not even funny, but I don't know why I'm laughing. We'll just have another drive through, and hopefully, so Cornwall's folding more, day one, national lockdown, and I'll put the dash cam video up. Runner End stores open, primary school open, really big building site there. There's a new estate going up in the village, open. Southgate's garage open. What's next? So people generally, this chap's been down to the local shop to get his lunch. I'm sure it was essential that he went and got a pasty and have a sandwich from home. But so that's the far end of the village. Now we're coming into the main bit of the village. Laverack's, the butcher's, open. The baker's at the end, they're open. I'm fairly sure if we had a candlestick maker, they'd be open as well because it's manufacturing. To be fair, the hairdressers are shut. Village Hall looks like that's open with a library. There's a library in there as well. So schoolwear looks to be shut. Snafflers is open. All the takeaways are open. The Chinese is open. McColl's is open. The baker's at the end of the village, that's open. The little cafe here doing breakfast and lunches, that's open. Pharmacy open. And as I said, if we had a candlestick maker next to that bakery, I'm fairly sure that would be open at the moment. So it would appear, on face value, that the only thing that's shut in Holme on Spalding Moor is the equestrian centre on the outside of the village in 8 acres of open East Yorkshire countryside. Makes sense of that. So, just coming out of the village, and apparently the gun shop's still open. Brilliant, because that's what we need in the time of national crisis, is a gun shop. So just on my way to Market Wheaton, just gone past Beechwood Cafe, they're open for takeaway, and essentially, and I am so relieved to find out that the scrapyard's open, because obviously I might need a wheel or something over the next 4 weeks. Fortunately, don't panic everybody, scrapyard's open. Okay, a little bit further along the road, just gone past the Holme on Spalding Moor recycling centre, I think they call it now. It's not TIP anymore, is it? That's open as well. So, you know, very clearly, very different to the last national knockdown, because TIPs were shut in the last one as well, but that one remains open. So just coming up on Henley's Nurseries, I'm fairly confident that Henley's is going to be open, because it'll come under garden centres, and obviously there is a high priority in the country to go and buy shovels at the moment to dig your garden over. Yep, Henley's is open. And again, you know, I'm a real big supporter of Henley's. We do an awful lot of trade with them, and it's not them that I have the issue with. It's not Henley's, it's not the bakers in the village, it's not the butchers. Again, if there was a candlestick maker, it wouldn't be them I have an issue with. It's, I don't understand why they're open and I'm not. That's the bit I am really, really struggling with. Why have I been told to shut and all these other businesses are carrying on? So just coming into Market Wheaton, the new veterinary practice open. Just coming up to MW Farm, and again, you know, I have a really good relationship with the guys at MW, and I have absolutely no issue with them open or being open. Long may they be open and earn a living. John Deere place behind them open, because clearly I might need to go and buy a tractor in the next 4 weeks. And again, you know, I haven't got an issue with these people. You know, the guys at MW are super guys. We've done so much business with them over the years at Port Royal, and I have no issue with them. It is the inconsistency of the message that's being sent. It appears that life around me is continuing on as normal, but we've been told we have to shut. So just coming into Market Wheaton now, and we're just going to take a slow ride through. Funeral directors, I know that they're still open. News agents open. Chris Clubley's estate agents, they open. Guys just gone in there. We are now, so McColl's open, pharmacy open. This high street looks exactly the same as it did yesterday. Granville's open, Coupland's open, post office is open, solicitors open. There is absolutely no difference down this high street. Everything is open as it was yesterday. Only thing so far that I've seen shut are hairdressers and equestrian centres, apparently. So, just coming up on the petrol station and the garden centre and Mackey's. So Mackie D's open for takeaway, petrol station open, and garden centre open. I am going to pop in for diesel because I do actually need diesel, so good job they're open, isn't it? Good job we shut all the equestrian centres down so that we could keep the diesel pumps going. So just been in to pay for my diesel, extortionate price that was as well. The Spa section of the petrol station still open, and Greg's still open as well. Thank God. I may need a phone charger at some point during the next 4 weeks, so at least the petrol station's still open and I can get that all important phone charger. But don't go to an equestrian centre, don't go walking on a golf course. So heading home now, and yeah, pretty much as bad as I thought this was going to be. You know, as you've been reading the guidance over the last few days, you suddenly come to realise that this just is not a national lockdown. You know, I've put a few tweets out now and a few Facebook posts, and in all of that, you know, so heading back home, I've got my diesel, going home to my equestrian centre, my 8 acres of open East Yorkshire countryside that clearly isn't allowed to be open. It's part of the problem because the government has seen fit to shut us today for 4 weeks. Also, on top of that, not only have they shut us, but they haven't actually told us if we're going to get any financial sort of support. So all the overheads that we're going to incur this next month through no fault of our own, and this is the bit that really gets me, when I've had to sit at home and watch the news and see raves in Avon and Somerset, 700 people going to an illegal rave, people dancing in the streets after being kicked out of pubs at 10 o'clock, utterly ridiculous. You know, protests, marching, house parties, and people just aren't taking the care and the responsibility that they should, and as a consequences we're paying the price. Amateur sport, golf, tennis, equestrian, individual sports, to name but a few, are going to have to suffer. Leisure centres, swimming pools, all the areas that actually keep you fit, keep you healthy. You know, outdoor sport, what could be better? Just beyond me. Okay, nearly home. We're coming up on Port Royal, and as we go down the drive, I'm going to give you a bit of a taster of what we've put in place and what we've been doing and how we've been running the venue since the restrictions came into force. So on arrival to Port Royal, you pull up to the gate, and the gates will automatically open on show days. No need to use the intercom on show days. Just wait for that to open, and then you pull through, and as you come down you will clearly see the barriers in front of you directing you in the right direction. Signage there, pull up nose into a number, so it's nice and clear as you come round the corner what we're wanting you to do. Horse boxes only, no cars in the car park. New signage towards the car park for all cars. Another sign, pull up nose into a number. The car park, whilst a little bit wet at the moment, has all been numbered up, so numbered bays. And the simple idea, which everybody is seeming to get, is you pull up directly into a number. All of the bays are 7 metres apart, something that we haven't seen at any of the supermarkets or Tesco's or garden centres. Everything is 7 metres apart, so that there's plenty of space in between all of the wagons. Cars go other side of the hedge, and this is the show venue. So it is 8 acres of East Yorkshire countryside. Stables down the bottom there, warm up for the show jumping arena right down at the bottom behind the wooden fence. We've only been allowing 6 in there at a time, during the COVID restrictions. So that's 5 being ridden, 5 horses, and 1 person in the middle altering the fence. And that's been religious. You know, there has been 5 in there for months now, and we've been all over that. Spectator area all the way down here. Again, we've got a COVID officer on site. Somebody's walking around with the high-vis jacket at every show, playing the COVID officer, and we have a big stick and we walk around and make sure that everybody's a minimum of 2 meters apart. Come across to the other arena. Again, we've got a big warm-up that we've just recently extended through the first lockdown, actually. So we came back with a bigger warm-up after we've been released from lockdown 1. Again, religiously, 6 in there, no more than 6. We don't have anybody on foot in there, so we can actually have 6 horses warming up, which is ample for then one rider at a time to come into this arena and compete. So that's been my trip out this morning. Pretty much as bad and as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be. It would appear that the only thing in Holme on Spalding Moor that's been shut is potentially the hairdressers. I will give you that, but it looks like the equestrian centre is the only thing. The industrial estate up the road is full speed ahead. They're manufacturing, so no change there. Our little road past us is still as busy as it ever is. I do not understand the rationale behind shutting this venue down. I just cannot understand it when I go out and everything out there is happening as normal, bar the odd hairdresser. It's just, somebody needs to explain this to me, because I am so hangry at the moment, and this is our life and our livelihood, and it's being stolen from us at the moment. We're still in a situation. I've emailed the council this morning to actually ascertain whether we do actually have to shut, because we've actually been told that we need to shut. We've just read the guidance and taken our own view. We've had no information from the council as to what financial support is going to be made available to us this time, if anything, and whether that's going to cover the sizable overheads that we have here at Port Royal, or do we just have to suck this up because of the irresponsibility of others that have failed to do their part, and then we have to pick up and pay the price.